Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is A Square Maths Made Easy Academy. Now in my today's video, I'm going to consider how to solve limiting process using calculator methods. And this is the final stage, which is stage 2. Now, in my last video, I was able to discuss from question number 1 to number 5. So today we are going to continue from number 6. Then please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then share, comment, and like. Alright, can we continue with the next question? And the next question is question number 6. I want you to watch. The question says this: evaluate limit of square root of x all over square root of x plus 1 plus square root of x as x approaches infinity. Now, first of all, can we write the question? The question says the limit of square root of x all over square root of x plus 1 then plus square root of x as x approaches what? Infinity. Now, I'm going to give you the step for solving this particular question. Then after that, we'll now approach it using calculator method. Now, the first step we are going to do, or you are going to introduce, is it comprises the numerator and the denominator. So what you are going to do is to punch numerator and the denominator. That's the first thing. And Q in the value. And what? Q in the what? Value. Then that is the first step. And when you are looking for x, how do we generate x? Punch this. Alpha close bracket, x will do what? Appear. Alpha close what? Bracket. X will do what? Appear. Then the second step, watch, is to observe this, and that is called calc. That is called what? Calc. You will punch what? Calc. And once you punch calc, this thing will appear. X question mark. Then you now know what x tends to. Here x tends to what? Infinity. And that is to say, anywhere you encounter a problem and x tends to infinity, please don't forget to Q in this value. After you would have punched what? Calc. Put in 99999 into 6 what? Decimal. It is constant. Then finally, which is step 3, punch what? Equal to. And the answer will do what? Appear. So these are the steps for solving a limit that x tends to infinity. Now can we start? Now let's take a look at the question now. This is the calculator, and with the calculator already. Now what do? Clear the function key first. How do I clear the function key? Punch shift 9 3 equal to AC. Then can we obey the principles now? Now the first one is punch the 2 box. Do you know why? We have the numerator and the denominator. So I will punch the 2 box, which I have done. Are you with me now? I'll punch the 2 box, which I have what? Done. Punch the 2 box. So the next thing is to Q in the value of the numerator. The value is square root of what? X. Point square root first. Then Q in x. X is alpha close bracket. Then we scroll down so that we can now Q in the value of the denominator. What is the first one? Square root. Point square root. Then followed by x. X is alpha close bracket. Then next is plus 1. I am done with this. Now the next thing is to navigate out from the square root. How do we navigate out? Punch the forward button. Look at the forward button. So I'm off from the square root. Then generate what? Plus. And finally on this is square root of what? X. How do we punch x? Alpha close bracket. So I am done with step what? 1. Then let's move to step 2. You punch what? Calc. I have done that. Punch calc. it will give me X question mark. Then I've told you once you punch calc, know what X tends to. Here X tends to what? Infinity. And anytime you are solving limit to infinity, once you punch calc, the next thing that follows is 9, 9 up to 6 places. Then I will now punch 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 up to 6. Then finally punch equal to. Then we now expect the answer. Now the correct answer there is 0.499. Can we write it now? Now the answer here will give us 0.499. Then by approximation, 0.499 will give us 0.15. And 0.5 means 1 over 2. Are you with me now? So what do you do? Let's check the option. Option A says 0. No. Option B says 1 over 3. No. Option C says 1 over 2. I know that 1 over 2 is 0.15. So which means the correct answer is option what? C. I am done with the first question, number 6. Okay, now can we move to number 7? Now number 7 says, evaluate limit of sine square of x all over x as x approaches 0. Permit me to write the question. Number 7. Question number 7. Question number 7. Now let us write the question. Number 7. The question says we should evaluate limit of, what is here? Sine square of x all over x as x approaches what? 0. Are you with me now? Now find the limit of this. So what do we do? I want us to watch now. So what we are going to do is very simple. Let's check the method now. Now this is in trigonometry, right? Well, let me give you the step. Let me give you the word steps. Now the first step is this, watch. What you will do, convert it to radian. Let me write it. Convert to radian. What did I say? Convert to what? Radian. Then how do we convert to radian? We are going to punch what? Shift. What did I say? Shift. Then followed by mode. And finally, we punch what? 4. So everything will now be in what? Radian. Then the next step, which is the second one, is to punch 2 boxes because it comprises the numerator and the denominator, and key in the values. And what? Key in the what? Values. And I have told you how to generate what? X. X is alpha what? Close bracket. Then the next one is step 3. Then what do? You punch what? Calc. And once you punch calc, X question mark will do what? Appear. Then you now know what X tends to. Now this one, X is not tends to infinity again. X tends to what? 0. So it has a different way. So what do? Choose a value that is greater than 0 but close to what? 0. Or you choose a value that is less than 0 and also close to what? 0. Now I'm choosing only one now because I've taught you in my first video. Go and watch it. So I will now choose the value that X is greater than 0 but close. But what? Close to what? X. And what is the value? Since here is 0, I will say 0.00000. Then I can say 1. Can you see that this is closer to 0, but it's not the same thing? Then finally, which is step 4, punch what? Equal to. And the answer will do what? Appear. Okay, now let us use this thing now. Using what we call calculator what? Method. Now this is my calculator. Watch this now. This is my calculator. Let us approach it now. Now what do? Convert to what? Radian. But first of all, okay, we have cleared it already. What is radian? Shift, mode, and what? 4. So it means that the calculator is now in radian. Then the second step is to punch the 2 boxes. The reason is because we have the numerator and the denominator. Are you following? Then I'll create the 2 boxes here. Then what are we expecting? Cue in the values one after the other. The first one is the numerator, but this particular sign is squared. So it will require the first thing that we're going to do is to close the bracket. Sorry, open the what? Bracket. Then you punch sign. This is sign. Next thing, create what? X. Alpha, close bracket. then close it. Are you with me? Then we close it again because of the opening the bracket. Then it is raised to the power of what? 2. I will now punch x squared. So it is now squared. Then what do? I will go down. Look at the downward button. This is the downward button. Then create what? X alpha close bracket. I am done with exactly what is written here. I'm done with the second step. So what is the third step? Punch what? CAC. This is CAC. Are you with me? It has given me X question mark. Now, what does X tends to? X tends to infinity, 0. Now check a number that is greater than 0, that is close to X. And that number is 0.00001. So what do I do? Punch 0.000001. Are you there? Then finally, punch equal to. The answer will appear. Now the answer there is 1 over 1000. Look at it. The answer here is 1 over 1000 into 6 places. 000. That is 1 million. Then if I convert this thing to a fraction, I will press what? SD. And as you press SD, do you know that it has converted in standard form? And what was the result in standard form? It is 1 times 10 raised to power minus 6. And what does this thing imply? It means 0 point, then I have 00000 into 5 places. Then you end it with what? 1. Then by approximation, the answer to this will give you what? 0. That is all. Are you with me now? Then let's go to the option. Option A says what? 1. No. Option B says what? 0. So which means the correct answer in the option is option what? B. Are you following? Then if that is there, can we move quickly to question number what? 8. Question number 8. Question number 8. What did I say? Question number what? 8. Now what is question number 8? Watch. Evaluate limit of x squared minus 1, close the bracket. Then open 2x plus 3, close the bracket. Raise to the power of 3 over 2. As x approaches what? 0. Let me write down the value. This is question number what? 8. The question says limit of x squared minus 1 times 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 3 over 2 as x approaches what? 0. Now this is a clue of this question number 7 that we saw. Then which means I don't even need to apply the principle or the step. But the only difference there is that this one is trigonometry, but this one is not trigonometry. So which means we don't need to convert to what? Radian. Then what do we do? Since the calculator is in radian, I want us to clear the function key first. Then we punch shift 9 3 equal to and what? AC. I've cleared it. So it's very simple. Q in the value. Then what's the first value? Bracket. Followed by x. Alpha close bracket. X has what? Appear. Then all squared. Check x squared. Look at x squared. It will now move. The 2 will now move up. Then I'll have with me minus 1. Are you with me? Then close the what? Bracket. I am done with the first one. Can we move to the second one? Open the bracket. What is here? 2, right? Then x. Alpha close bracket. X has appeared. Then plus what? 3. Then close the what? Bracket. I am done. Next is to raise it to the power. So what do? Point this x raised to power box. Look at it here. The box will appear at the power. Then if you observe the power, you find out that it has numerator and denominator. So it then means that it will require of us to punch the 2 box, which I have done. Then the next thing is to Q in the numerator. What's the numerator? 3. Then you go down. Are you there? Then Q in the denominator. What's the denominator? 2. I'll punch 2. So I'll Q in exactly what is on the board. Then remember the step. We now punch what? CAC. It will now give us x question mark. What does x tends to? 0. Now choose a number of x that is greater than 0 but close to what? 0. And the number is 0.00001 if you observe it. So I'll punch 0.00001. Everything should be 6 decimal. So now punch equal to and expect the answer. Look at the answer. Minus 5.196. Let me write it up. Now this is equal to minus 5.196157. So by approximation, the same thing as minus 5. Are you with me now? Then let's check the option. Option A says minus 5. I don't need to verify others. So the correct answer is option what? A. Then if we have known number 8, can we quickly move to question number what? 9. I want you to watch. Question number 9. Now the question says, we should evaluate limit of square root of 1 minus x all over 1 plus x as x approaches what? 0. Permit me to write the question back. Then the limit of square root of 1 minus x all over 1 plus x as x approaches what? 0. It's still the same thing that we applied in number 8, the same format. Then let's go using calculator method. Now watch. The first thing we are going to do here is to punch the square root. Look at square root. Then inside the square root, it has numerator and denominator. So generate the two boxes. I have done that. And now cue in the value of the numerator. What's the value? 1 minus x. Alpha, close bracket. X has what? Appeared. Then you now go down. You now go what? Down. And cue in the denominator. What's the denominator? 1. Then we have with me plus. X is what? Alpha, close bracket. Are you with me? It has what? Appeared. Then what do you think next? You punch what? Calc. So that it will give you question mark. Now, x tends to 0, right? Choose a number that is greater than 0. It is what? But close to 0. It is what? 0.000001. Are you with me now? Then finally punch equal to and wait for the answer. Now look at the answer on the screen. The answer is 0.999 into 6 decimal. So let me write it. Now what do we get as the answer? 0.999999 into 6 what? Decimal. Then by approximation, the answer is what? 1. Can we check the options? Option A says 2. No. Option B says 3. No. Option C says 0. No. Then option D says 1. Wow. The correct answer is option what? D. Do you understand? Then finally, which is question number what? 10. Can we dissolve it? Watch. Question number 10. Question number 10. Now the question says, look up. Evaluate limit of 12x cubed. Let me write it. Evaluate limit of 12x raised to power 3. Then minus 5x raised to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 2 all over the denominator. What's the denominator? 2x raised to the power of 3 minus 4x raised to the power of 2 plus 2x, then minus what? 5 as x approaches to infinity. Now this is a clue of what you have done in number what? 6. So let's follow the step I've given before. Now this is my calculator again. So what is the next thing? Now look up. This thing is numerator and denominator, right? Create the two boxes. I have done that. Then cue in the value of the numerator one after the other. The first one is 12x raised to power of 3. I'll punch 12. I wait there. Then x, alpha, close bracket. But it's to the power of what? 3. Then punch x box. And create what? 3. It has appeared. Next, go to the forward button and go to the next question. Next question is minus 5 what? X. Punch minus 5. X is alpha close bracket. Then all squared. Create x squared. It will appear. What do you have again? Plus 3 what? X. I'll punch 3. Next is alpha close bracket. X has what? Appeared. Then minus 2. I am done with the numerator. I will scroll down. I'll move to the denominator. So what is here? The first one is 2, right? Then we have x raised to power 3. I will say alpha close what? Bracket. Then what is power? Is 3. Then I'll punch x block power. Then now cue in what? 3. I'm done. Then forward the button what? Key. I'll move to the next question, which is minus 4, right? Followed by x alpha close bracket. And we have square. Then punch x square. X, the square have appeared. Then we have plus what? 2. Are you with me? Next is what? X. Alpha close bracket. X has what? Appeared. Then minus 5. I have done with this, the input. So what do I do? I will now go and punch what? Calc. It will say X what? X what? Question mark. Then what does X tends to? X tends to what? Infinity. And I've told you, anytime you are dealing with limit of infinity, now what you should do, generate 9 up to 6 places. Oh yeah, let's do that. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Up to how many places? 6 places. Then finally, punch what? Equal to. Can you see that the answer have appeared? The answer is 6.000095. Let me write it up. Now, what is the answer here? 6.000095. By approximation, the answer is what? 6. Now, let's check the option. Option A says 4, no. Option B says 5, no. Option C says what? 6. Wow. The correct answer is option what? C. Are you with me now? Now, do you know that you can use shortcut to solve this limit to infinity, which I've done before in my last video. Now, what do we do? This is limit, right? Of 12x to the power of 3 minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 2. Then all over, what's the denominator? 12x to power 3 minus 4x to power 2 plus 2x, then minus what? 5. As x approaches what? Infinity. Then I want you to watch. Then what you are going to do is that just consider only the one that has the highest variable power, both the numerator and the denominator, and they must correspond. That is to say, this one will go, this one will go, this one will go. This is the only one that will remain because the powers are the same and they has the highest power. So which is 12x raised to power 3 divided by 2 raised to the power of what? 3. X to power 3 will cancel x to power 3. Can 2 go into 12? Yes. What is the answer? 6. Can you see that they are the same now? So, my fans, see you in my next video. In my next video, I'll be talking about calculations in calculus. I stopped at question number 70. I'll continue with question number 71. Now, see you. Bye.